having trouble with your garbage disposal, it's pretty typical things that might happen. This is the process that I would use, and you can do it yourself to go ahead and try to clear the obstruction or the problem with the disposal. Okay, so you go up to the disposal and you go to turn it on. You hear this crazy grinding or rattling around. There's obviously something inside. If you don't hear that, but you hear a little buzzing sound, that means that it's still clogged up and needs some help. If you turn it on and absolutely no sound comes, then you need to make sure that the unit actually is getting power. And the way to do that, on the garbage disposal itself, on the bottom of the garbage disposal, there's a red reset button. And this unit over here, I just set it aside so you can see it clearly. You can feel around for it on the bottom and find it pretty easily. If it's popped out, you'll feel it. And then all you gotta do is just press it back in and it should click back into place. Once you've put the reset button back into place, you can just come back to the switch and just very quickly turn it on and off. And now it might be clear and it might have been that simple, or there might still be something rattling around inside there and you're gonna have to deal with that. Or it might just continue to buzz. If it just make sure, if it's buzzing, just leave the power back off. Then you're gonna need to clear the disposal itself. So before you do that, these are plugged into the walls. Just go ahead and unplug the unit from the wall so there's no way any power can get to it. Then here on the left side of the cabinet underneath, hanging by Velcro, is the disposal wrench. Now this thing fits underneath the bottom of this, right in the center. So you can put that right in the center and you can rotate manually the blades to dislodge anything that might actually be caught inside the teeth. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right in the bottom, break it loose, and you might have to use some force to get it broken loose, and that's okay. So once you think you've got it broken loose, then you can go ahead and look inside the disposal from the top. Now light is really handy for doing this because it lets you see right down inside there pretty easily. And if you see glass, a bunch of glass, and you know that it's there, you might have to just start one by one pulling those out. If you see a bottle cap or something simple, either way, you need to reach down inside there and start fishing out the things that you can feel. You can go ahead and set them to the side. If there's too much food and stuff in there at the same time, sometimes you just have to kind of feel through it and find the stuff that's obviously hard and shouldn't be in there. Once you think you've got everything cleared back out, then you can go ahead and test and see if you got it all. Just gonna go ahead and plug the disposal back into the wall. Restores power. And then as you're testing it the first time, just do that really quick on and off thing. It's either gonna start rattling and you obviously missed something, or maybe it's clear and you're good to go. Or maybe the blades would have frozen up and you need to hit the reset button again. Either way, if it's not going right, just do the same thing over again. Unplug it from the wall, pull your wrench, break it loose if you have to, continue to grab everything that might be stuck in there. Now once you, especially with glass, sometimes there's such small fragments that you just can't get them all. And it's still gonna cause it to rattle around, it still might cause the blades to bind. In a situation like that, take the disposal plug and go ahead and really get a good amount of water in the sink. And just as a note, when you're just using the disposal on food stuff too, make sure you use a lot of water, because if you don't use much water, it can also cause problems with fogging and stuff. So always use a lot of water when you're grinding stuff. And once I've got a decent amount of water in there, I'm gonna go ahead and pop the plug, and as the water's filling out, I'm gonna flip the garbage disposal on and off, and that's gonna let those little fragments break loose, and hopefully the water will help them go away. Just like a couple times. And then it's clear. That works most of the time with that last little bit of glass. So those are typically the ways to handle any of those problems you might have with your disposal.